Warning. Central bank expected to raise interest rates to a record 10% in some countries. Affirm stock plummets on missed earnings report. Carvana shares plunge to a record low while higher interest rates mean only wealthy Americans can afford a new car. And some expert economists think that higher interest rates won't solve the inflation problem. Oh, and how do I prepare for a recession if I'm struggling to pay for rent, food, and utilities? It's a good question. These are top stories, news headlines, and major concerns for a lot of American people who are working hard right now just to keep their heads above water. And unfortunately, the results from a recent Channel community poll shows just where a majority of families are landing in terms of wealth right now. Take a look at this. 85% of the folks who voted said they are directly trading their time for dollars, while 75% of voters said they did not take a vacation this year and really need a getaway. So what does that mean? To me, it's clear. Working too long and too hard with no breaks or rest. And even if you did get a few days off, you don't have the money to enjoy a nice, relaxing vacation getaway. So something's got to be done about this, and fast. Because according to experts and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, we are a sure miss for a soft landing. And like he said in Jackson Hole, there will be some pain felt by families and businesses. Now, please don't shoot the messenger, as I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But guys, I hate to break the bad news to you. We're in a recession. But first, I would like to thank our sponsor for today's video. And today's video is brought to you by greed, ignorance, and stupidity from leaders all around the world. Without those key ingredients, today's video would just not be possible. So now is the time to stock up on essentials before it's too late, or else. And I'm going to discuss a few ways that I plan on doing that in just a few moments. Oh, and let's not leave out mainstream media, because without them continuously misguiding us and constantly confusing us with misleading and conflicting, contradictory information, then we just wouldn't know which way is up, right? Okay, now back to the video. Now, I know the Federal Reserve has not officially said we're in a recession, but let's just go back and take a look at 2008, the last major recession we've had. We actually were in the recession in 2007, but we didn't officially call it a recession until about the tail end of 2008. And really, by that time, the recovery had already started. So fast forward to today's recession, probably the same thing will happen, in my opinion. By the time the Federal Reserve officially says that we're in a recession, the actual recovery would have already started. So what? What will the game plan be in this current recession that we're in? Well, I think you got three asset classes where you can make some real money. The first one is going to be in stocks, okay? The stock market right now is heavily discounted. The S&P 500 for 2022 is down by over 20%, and the Dow is down by over 14%. You got the NASDAQ, which is the biggest loser of them all, down by over 30%. So what does that mean for someone trying to build wealth if they want to use the stock market to do it? Well, it means you can go buy things that are more than 25% discounted when you do the average of the three major indexes right now. Now, me personally, I like one of the sayings that Warren Buffett has, and it was, he said that when prices of hamburgers go up, people are generally not happy. However, when prices of hamburgers go down, people, they're happy. But when prices of stocks go down, people think it's a bad thing. They think it's bad news. No, guys, that's good news. If we're trying to build wealth and we want to use the stock market to help us do it, then we want to buy them when they're on sale, right? Now, please don't mistake this for financial advice or stock investment tips or anything of the sort. I'm just sharing with you my opinion and possible moves that I'm going to make personally to ensure that I continue to make money in these times. Now, we want to pick these great companies, these great blue chip companies and ETFs when they're on sale. Why wouldn't I want to buy Apple when it's 25% off? When it's 25% on sale, when I know history tells me it will recover. And it will recover as soon as we get into the next bull market. And guess what bull markets follow? Yep, that's right. Bear markets. Look at the history of the stock market, guys. There's never been a time where the stock market has fallen by 25% and it wasn't followed by a bull market that increased by 50%, at least 50%. That's just the way the market works, okay? So if you want to build wealth using stocks, this is the perfect opportunity that I would be using to buy them through dollar cost averaging to make sure I'm getting the best deal. And I'm going to be buying as much as I can afford to buy. Now let's move on to the other asset classes, okay? Perhaps maybe you're not interested in stocks like I am. But the second one is going to be real estate. Now, I've done a couple of videos recently about real estate and home prices. They're starting to drop, okay? Home prices are starting to drop around the country, folks, but for right now, I'm going to concentrate here on Florida because that's where I live. At least in the area where I live, at what I have been seeing, 3 to 5% drop in home prices over the last several months. So why is that? Well, to keep it simple, interest rates. Anytime the interest rates associated with you buying a home and getting a loan increase, typically that drives the prices down. Why? Well, because when interest rates increase and mortgage financing gets to be too expensive, people can't afford to buy homes. So it decreases the demand, and anytime the demand decreases and homes have to stay on the market for longer periods of time, well, guess what? Sellers are forced to drop their price. They have to reduce their price to sell the homes. So I believe that real estate, single family homes, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, they're going to be on sale here very shortly in the next few months, probably within the next 6 months. So I think that's a good opportunity for me or perhaps anybody else out there to pick up some good deals if you're in a position to do that. Now, let's move on to number 3, which is businesses. Now, you guys know I love businesses. I believe that the best time to start a business is actually in a recession. And normally people don't want to start businesses in a recession. So that is exactly why I like to start one in a recession, because I simply have less competition. Normally in good times where everything is booming, that's the worst time to start a business. Why? Because you got more competition, because everybody else wants to start a business too. So I like to think about what I would like to start a business by doing and then go ahead and getting that business started, because this is the best time to do it. As I mentioned, less competition. It's a win-win. Now, I got to think, what else could I be doing right now in order to prepare myself for this recession? Well, I think the number one thing that anybody would want to do is think about their income and ways to protect their income. Got it. So think about it like this. You have to protect your income because, in my opinion, your income is an asset. Now, that's one of your main assets. Protecting your income is very important. So making sure your skill sets are good and making sure you're adding value. And if you're an employer, making sure that you're streamlining and taking care of your employees. And if you are a business owner, you got to protect your income, guys, plain and simple. That's the most important thing in a recession, because without that income, you can't do what you need to, which is invest in businesses and stocks and real estate. You can't buy any of these assets that I just got through talking to you guys about, See what I'm saying? So the next thing you got to think about is cash. We talked about cash a lot. It's not the easiest thing to get, especially with the banks hoarding it. But you see, you got to always keep some cash on hand. At least I do. That's my opinion. It's especially important because I want to keep that cash on the sideline, especially in a recession. Multiple of reasons. Number one, it gives you the opportunity to pick up on more deals that present themselves during this recession, but it also serves as a safety blanket for you and your family. Think about it. High interest rates. Well, if I've got cash and a deal presents itself, I'm paying the lowest price possible instead of paying the bank high interest rates and high interest on making minimum payments. And as a safety blanket for my family in the event of some form of possible market crash, which we would not be in a selling position, so we would rebound from, or the possibility of credit freezes and credit tightening, which is on the list of future videos coming. So you guys want to make sure you're not going to want to miss that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on notifications, because when I drop that credit freeze video, it's going to blow your minds. Now, cash also serves as protection for you, as well as it gives you some cash reserves on the side. Very important. Put them in a safe place also. And believe it or not, guys, cash right now is probably a really good investment. Hear me out. It's probably outpacing the stock market. As a matter of fact, it actually is outpacing the stock market if you think about it. Because if you're getting, let's just say like 1% return in your money market account at your local bank, that's probably better than you're doing currently in your investments and stock portfolios in the market right now. Now, long term, obviously the stock market will outperform your money market account any day of the week. But comparing rates long term to what we're seeing right now in the short term, a savings account or money market account, a high yield money market account, a high yield savings account is probably outperforming the S&P 500. And this is about diversification and having multiple resources and not putting all your eggs in one basket, plain and simple. You want to use every tool you have to your available disposal as a way of growing and building wealth. Some are performing better than others at other times, and that's when you need to be smart, mindful, calm and collected, and don't panic, and make moves and shifts so that your money is where it needs to be to continuously grow. Now, I don't think that that's a bad idea to have cash. I actually currently keep about 25% of my portfolio right now in cash. So a quarter of my net worth is currently cash. And I do that because I don't want to miss out on opportunities and I want to have that level of protection. Not only that, but it helps me sleep at night. I sleep better at night because the recession, come on, guys, you know how I feel. I just don't want you guys to miss out on these opportunities to build wealth as well. I don't want you to miss the opportunity to grow your net worth. I just don't want you to sit around thinking, well, the Federal Reserve hadn't said that officially that we're in a recession. So, it's not. So basically, it's not a recession until they say it is. No, that's not true. We're in one. It's already here. It's happening. Look, like I said, look at these asset classes I just mentioned, the stock market, the real estate market, businesses. Think about them. They're all down right now. So if they're all down, what does that tell you? That means we're in a recession. Think about where we are with inflation. Inflation is at 8.2% when it should be at 2%. We're a long ways off, folks. So we're definitely right now in a recession. And obviously at some point, the Federal Reserve, I believe, is going to call it that. But typically when they call it a recession, that means the recession is probably nearing its tail end and we're already starting the recovery. So don't be sitting around on the sideline trying to, time the market or anything like that. That doesn't work. Saying to yourself, well, I know once they call it a recession, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to start investing. No, it's too late. So I actually heard somebody say that we still probably have another 20% drop to go in the stock market. More discounts are coming. Now, don't get caught up in that trap of thinking you're going to time this 20% drop. Don't do it. I'm not going to do it. You guys do what you want. Like I said, this isn't financial advice, but I'm going to continue to dollar cost averaging because if it does go down another 20%, I'm just going to continuously buy at a lower price. Now, right now, you already got the S&P 500, which is a broader indication of the entire stock market. And you got the S&P 500 already 20% discounted and on sale. You got the NASDAQ discounted more than 30% and on sale. So what are you waiting for? So if you're thinking about building wealth, what are you waiting for? I hope you guys are capitalizing on these opportunities. I know I sure am. Now, we should be taking advantage of every single one of them right now. And don't get me wrong, I will continue to buy down, So if the stock market drops another 10%, I'm going to buy it down. But the key though, is I want to keep buying low and then hold these investments to some point in the future when they're trading at a higher value. Now, I want to buy them at a lower value, which is right now, and I want to hold them long enough until they get to a higher value. And then at that point, I have the option if I want to sell them and take my money and take my profits and reinvest them in another vehicle, or if I want to hang on to them and continue watching them grow. So if you guys want to know more about what I've been doing and what I'm planning to do more of in the future to further build wealth and secure my family's personal and business finances, check out the membership videos. There's a link in the description. I'm putting together in-depth videos showing a more behind the scenes look at what all I do, how it works, and most importantly, how much money I make from it all. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.